What's up, everyone? So now we are going to do part 2 of the catch-up series, we'll call it. Um, Hopefully you watched part 1. In part 1 I talked about um, the Able Mod and the Succubus Rda, my most recent mech mod purchase. Um, I talked about, really I covered everything. I mean, it's a mech mod. Whenever you're talking about a mech mod, there's only a certain couple of things that are different from others. This looks a lot different than a lot of other mech mods, um, but it still works the same. The RDA, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about because the RDA, I spoke a little bit in the previous video, but I really didn't get to my, gripes about it. Um, even though this is like the mech mod, the Able, I really don't have any big gripes. There are certain little gripes. Um, for instance, you have this ring. Let me see if I can dry it all off so it doesn't give a glare when I show it to you. You have this ring right here. You can turn this ring to shut off or open your airflow, your bottom airflow. This ring is a pain in the ass. It can be a pain in the ass. It's not easy to turn to open the airflow or shut it. It's not easy to turn, but it sure as hell turns easy whenever you're pulling the top cap off to drip on, which I do. I don't drip through the top. The only time I'll do that is with another recent purchase. I got the easy dripper in the car. I do it that way. But if I'm out and about, I drip like this. I pop the top cap off and drip on straight onto my cotton. I just like soaking up my cotton because with me doing lower builds, it sucks up the juice, so I want to make sure that it's all covered every time. That way I'm not dripping after every single rip. But I have a 6-wrap 20 gauge Royal Wire, my everyday build. Nothing too fancy, but it's probably one of my most cloud producing, vapor producing builds. I mean, I love this build. It's like I said, it's my everyday build. It's what I do 9 out of 10 times. And another product I'm going to show you is the first time I did a build that wasn't similar or this build in a while. So, the Succubus Rda. The ring on here is a pain in the ass because, I mean, it after 2 or 3 times of pulling this off, it shuts 1, 2, or all of the airflows. So you got to turn it. But like I said, whenever you go to turn it, it's not as easy as it turning by itself. Sometimes you'll go pull this off and it'll be the ring will come off with it, and from what I understand, I looked at it briefly, you can't do it without the ring because then, or can you? Hey man, nah, see, without the ring, it's just too loose. Yeah, you gotta have the ring on. Now I don't know if because it's just gotten so soaked up with juice, that's why. I actually just thought about that, but I don't think so because even whenever I first put the build in and first did it, it was doing that. And I mean, this is going to get soaked with juice anyway because of juice coming through the bottom airflow. It is, see, I got used to the Kennedy 24 where it's basically leak proof. Not completely, but it's very hard to over drip and leak through the bottom of that. Thank God, Kennedy, you finally got it. I never owned a Kennedy before that because of that, and I own 2 Kennedy 24s because I love it now. Yeah, so this ring, they could have made it stiffer, but I don't want to say they could have made it stiffer because then it would have been harder to open and shut the airflow. I don't know if there's, you know, a way to, maybe if I keep it down all the way, all the time, maybe if I just keep on making sure that's pushed all the way down. But I don't think so. Like I've said, I've had it for about a week, and I've toyed around with it enough to know that basically it is what it is, you know. And whenever you have juice, and you know how like you have not a juice bubble, but juice gets in the airflow holes, it's hard to notice if your airflow is open or closed. But as far as how it vapes awesome. It's not like the Mutation V4 where it's I vape everything wide open. I love airflow. With the Mutation V4 was probably one of the only ones that was just too much airflow. It took away from the taste. There was so much airflow. I'm gonna get to this in a little bit. Don't get all happy because you see it. My Hexome, I'm going to talk about that because I just got that not too long ago too. But the Phenotype has a ton of airflow. This is probably the only other RDA where I actually shut off some airflow. I shut off 1 1/4 of the second. But because wide open, I like clouds, but if I vaped and didn't taste anything all day, I wouldn't enjoy vaping. So I like flavor. But yeah, so let's get off of this. Real quick, the packaging the Able comes in pretty simple. You got your box. You know, it has one of the team members. This is gosh, what was his name? Creedy, or I forget his whole name. Let me see if I got my phone, because the cool thing is that these barcodes, Billy Greed. You can scan these barcodes and it'll bring you to information about that person, or they have the barcode for understanding the Able Mod, which is a really great video. That video actually taught me something that just it was a bit of information that worked wonders for all my mech mods, not just my Able, and that is putting 3-in-1 oil on your threads and working it into the you know, dripping a little bit, like 2 dots, screwing in your threads, screwing them out, screwing them in, screwing them out, and it gets rid of all that shit that builds up in your threads, and it works. I mean, I like I said in the previous video, I clean my mods probably every 2 days. I may not polish them, but, you know, I give them a wipe down and everything. But until I watched that video, my threads were always, you know, shit. Let me see if I can find a mech that I didn't do it. Yeah, I don't think I did it to my Manhattan. My blood splatter Manhattan, I haven't done it to this. Like, look how dirty that shit is. I mean, it's just up in there. You see that black line? That's shit up in there. Not literal shit. I didn't stick it up my ass or nothing, but it's stuff builds up in there. I got this cool little thing, but I haven't really used it because I build too hot for it and it's too small. It's a really cool RDA, the Dinghy by Flawless. It looks sweet as hell on here. Even though the blood splatters are a little different, it still looks pretty cool. It's a nice, small, stealthy vape, but it's just I build too hot for it. I really do. Even, you know, I don't go more than 6 reps with 20 gauge, even 6 rep 21 prime, Royal Prime. It's just too hot for, you know, it's this small compared to this much space for where you have the room for it to cool down. It's just too hot. I may try and do like a temp build in there to put on my DNA 200, but I really want to do a build to set this up because it looks badass, you know? Like it's just a blood splatter setup. It's small, it's nice. And I haven't been putting too much use to my Manhattan, and I want to because I love the Manhattan. But yeah, so nice setup. Succubus, nice RDA. Paint job is like any other color RDA for some reason. I was just actually talking to my boy about this. They need to stop with these shitty paint jobs on everything, especially mechs. Because like, I mean, my Sub-Zero, this is my oldest Sub-Zero, but you can see the paint just coming off on that. Like whenever I get a black copper, like a copper mod, but it's black, I get it because it's black, you know? I don't want it to start chipping and then eventually end up like this was my white Manhattan. I ended up having to sand it down because the white just was stripping so much. Like that's the top cap. But yeah, awesome setup. Able Mod, love it. Actually am very happy about having a lock ring now because I have 4 kids running around the house. I don't need to be having unlocked mechs everywhere. Like whenever I didn't have a lock ring, I would make sure my mods were up high, and now I could just it's become habit where I just set it down like that with my younger kids. Even though all my kids know not to go anywhere near my vape and stuff, if I set it down like that, she's not going to know how to unlock it. She's 1 year old, you know. So yeah, awesome setup. A lot of people gripe about the price, but you get what you pay for. You get an awesome, well-made, you know, mod. Like I said, you could customize it, so it could very well be your last mod you ever buy. Not for me, but and all the AV, AvidLyfe, and AmeriVape parts are interchangeable. You could put this button. I've seen this button housing on an Apollo. You could put it on a Manhattan V1. You could just switch it up. And great product. AvidLyfe, definitely love the hell out of this thing. And the one thing I like about this than the Limitless, I was going to say that, is the Limitless is big. It's a bulky, not bulky, but this is still a small mod. Pictures didn't do it justice how small it is, but it's an awesome, you know, mod as far as not too big and being a sleeve mod. It's a little, it's shorter than, let me see if I can line it up. Yeah, it's shorter than the Manhattan. Got my brass VCM I'll talk about in a minute yeah, it's a very short setup. It really is. I really like it. I enjoy it. I love the way it feels. I love the firing button. I have no gripes about it, like except for the couple little things I talked about in the first video, which weren't really big deals because it wasn't like I was like, oh, I hate this mod because of it. It's definitely, I'd say it's up there. You know, I'd say it's, my top 3 mechs are the Sub-Zero, the Manhattan, and the Able. VCM would probably come in a very close fourth to the Manhattan. This and the Sub-Zero are probably my 1A. And the Sub-Zero is, I love the Sub-Zero. I really do. That's why I got 3 of them. I had 3 Manhattans at one. I had 4 Manhattans at one point. But look at this. We made our second video. We've already talked about the Able for another fucking video. Like I said, I'm just going to be spitting these out because who cares, you know? Like, it's not like, he talked 15 minutes for Able and, like, who fucking cares? So we'll go another 2 minutes talking about the Able, and then I'll make the other videos. I promise I won't talk about the Able or the Succubus at all in that video. So I'll show you a little bit more of the Able. The button is, the pin is like, you see how it's, while I'm pushing it, you see how it's like a pill shape almost, and then you got the, you know, the contact, what makes contact with the battery right here. There was some arcing on the pin, and I actually seen a couple other people talk about arcing with the pins. I sanded it down, and I finally was like, what the hell am I doing? Whenever you buy the Sub-Zero, if anybody has purchased a Sub-Zero, they come with a card. And in the card, it tells you, I'll show you in this one, to put your batteries in upside down. It's really not upside down because with a mech mod, there's no, you know, with regulated devices, it's wired for positive and negative. In mech mods, it's a connection, that's it. So if you do it that way, I have no arcing on the button. That mark right there isn't arcing. Maybe it is a little arcing. Who the hell knows? But nah, it's not as bad as whenever I had them in the normal way, I'll say. But I have it in backwards up here. It's, and people say they hit harder and everything. I don't really think that's 100% true. They might, I mean, you might get a little, but for me, it's consistency. Less misfires. I mean, you're not going to have a misfire. Even though with the Sub-Zero, it's damn near impossible. I got to redo this build. Holy shit. I knew it tasted funny. But it's a Sub-Zero, you're not going to get a misfire because it has that 8-point clutch system. I wonder what I had sitting on there. But yeah, so with this one, I mean, you still got a pin, but it's, I haven't had, you know, a misfire or nothing with it. You know, I haven't had any problems with it firing because, like I said, it's just so comfortable as far as how you fire it. It's just like you can have 2 fingers and just give it a push. And it's just so nice. Like the Able Mod, if you are like me, I pretty much collect mech mods. I summed it up to I collect them. You know, I have some of my mech mods here, and I have, you know, a VCM, a Sub-Zero, a Manhattan, 2 other Manhattans. Even though this one's pieced out, I have a Rig V2. I have, you know, I left out, but I have another VCM. I had, like, I enjoy mech mods. I really don't use boxes. I have a DNA 200, which I was using a tank with, up until I got this hexome, which will be in the next video, and I got this bad boy yesterday, which will be in the next video. For a starter kit, this thing is phenomenal. I'll go more in depth in it in the next video. I'll talk about the hexome and I don't know if it's the knee box, the any box, the new box, whatever. The 541, I believe, 521 build station from Coilmaster. And I think that's pretty much it. And another two mech mods. I'll try and knock that all out in the next video, but check me out on the next video. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, interact on this channel. I'm not a big reviewer that's out here to make money, get, fame or, any type of nothing. I don't, vaping's a hobby. It's a fun time. Like I said, I got 4 kids. This is what I do for fun. It really is. That's all it comes down to. I don't do cloud comps or nothing like that because I want it to stay as fun as possible. And I have a great time vaping. I have a great time going to the vape shop I go to, just chilling, and I have a great time making these videos. And because I've actually had people reach out to me and say, with that monster V3 video, you really helped me out with the wicking and all this. And that's what I want. I want to be able to make a video, and even if it helps out one person, that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a million subscribers, even though shit, that would be nice. It's more people I reach out to, but I'm not really worried about it. I do this for fun. So please like, subscribe, comment, interact. And if you'd like to see, if you have any questions about anything, you'd like me to make a video about it, just shoot me a comment, shoot me a message. You can email me at njvapor856@gmail.com, and just you Instagram me at vaporcg87, VPRCG87, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.